We're now on page 20 of your working file, the subject of stacking order. Now, this is a very important subject, so do spend some time here because this will really affect your ability to design over time. Now, first of all, I'm going to simply select my rectangle tool and then I'm going to click on a color. Now, click. Don't worry about that, we'll discuss that later. Click OK. Now, the reason I've done this is so that when I draw a rectangle, it has that blue color in it automatically. So I'm going to click and drag, and click and drag. And do you notice every time I create a new rectangle, automatically that rectangle is over the top of the last rectangle? Well, that is what we call the stacking order. CorelDraw automatically creates the stacking order for you. Always, the last object you create is at the top of the stacking order, and of course the first object is at the bottom of the stacking order. But as we design, we will want to change the order of objects to suit our design. And that is really very much what this lesson is about, how to alter and change the stacking order. Well, if I take this rectangle here and I'll make it yellow in color to really highlight this for you, and in fact what I'll do is just pull all these over a little bit closer together. Now, as you can see, the stacking order doesn't change even though I'm moving objects around. Now I'll pop that there like that. Now, there are lots of ways to change the stacking order, so I'm going to show you what I believe are the quickest ways first of all, and that is to simply work with these keyboard shortcuts here. So for example, Control Page Down. I'll do that now. Finger on Control and Page Down, and see that? It's gone down one. And again, and again, and as you can see, every time I tap, it goes down one. I can do the reverse, Control Page Up. And as you can see, I can change the stacking order by doing that. We've got some options to go automatically to the back and automatically to the front. So I'll, for example, send this all the way to the back automatically. So Shift and Page Down, and automatically that's gone to the back of all of the objects, as you can see. Now just bear in mind when you work on this page, by the way, I've actually got a hidden white background there that you can't see. So if I go Shift Page Down, it will disappear behind my white background. So when you're doing this, if it disappears, just Control Page Up and that'll bring you in front of this white edge. If I click right on the edge there, if I can find it, there it is. You can see my background is a locked white space. That's part of my setting this up, so don't let that fool you, okay? All right, now if I want to come all the way to the front, I'll use this one, Shift Page Up, Shift Page Up. Now there are some other ways to go ahead and do this, and that is to work from a menu system. Two ways to access the menu system: up to Arrange and come to Order, and here are all of your options, and these options will apply to whatever the selected object is. So to the back of the page, to the front, back one. Basically these same shortcuts are all here. The two that we don't have as keyboard shortcuts at the moment are in front of and behind. Now if I choose in front of, and for example I click on that square there, click, see my object is in front of that object. Now a quicker way to access this menu, and I've written it here, right click on the object to access menu, right click, come down to Order, and you can access the menu here. So this time I'm going to click behind and I'll click on the front one. So my object goes behind the front one. Pretty easy stuff. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to delete all of this. I'm going to select this bunch of objects here, and I'm going to stretch that out there, and we're going to just practice putting all of this into place. But before we do, I'm going to show you a very handy tip, how to create your own menu system. Up to Arrange, down to Order, and see all of these options here. There's a couple of them I want to place into my own floating menu, or Docker if you like. It's very important. Finger on Control first, then finger on Alt, and you can click and drag any one of these onto the screen. Again, Arrange, Order, and I'm going to go in front of Control, Alt, then click and drag and put it inside of that menu. Again, Arrange, Order, Control, Alt, and I will go back one. Again, Arrange, Order, Control, Alt, and forward one. And that's all I'm going to do. So I've created a brand new menu or toolbar. Now, what I can do with this is I can place this automatically up here onto this toolbar, and that will stay there, or I can drag it around my screen and pop it wherever I want. So that's a good part of this lesson that even now you could go ahead and do if you want. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to select this object here. In fact, that one's in the right place. I'll select this object here, and I'm going to say in front of the red square. I'll select this one, and I could go just Control Page up, and with this one here I could go Control Page down, but notice how nothing's happening. That's because even though I only see it sitting in front of that object, it could actually be in front of a lot of objects. I'll do that again. So see here, it's actually on the top of the stacking order of all of these objects, but when it's just sitting there like that, I can't tell that. So I go Control Page down, nothing appears to happen, as you can see. And that's where, when you've got lots of objects, using these options are very valuable. So in behind the red square, and that makes it easy to work with, doesn't it? So I'm going to, again, behind the red square, and then this one here in front of the green square, and then that one there in front of the green square. Use some of these keyboard shortcuts as well. This one here, I'll go Control Page down, and I'm having to hit it quite a few times because I don't know where it sits in the stacking order. Now we can look at this another way, which we will in the future, and that is once we start working with the Object Manager, then we will be able to see exactly where something sits in the order. Well, I've been tapping for a long time and I'm not getting anywhere. So I'm going to, in this case, just to show you, Order. So I'll do that again. Right click, go to Order, and I'm going to choose in front of the arrow. See that? You can select multiple objects and do the same thing. Just bear that in mind. And now I'm going to go in front of the green square, and now we have our billy cart full of objects. So go ahead, play with all the options that you've seen here, create your own menu. Now don't forget, after you've created a menu, you can drag that menu wherever you want, and you can delete it, which is what I'm going to do right now. Don't forget, right click on your menu bar system. We talked about this earlier, and you may need to turn off lock toolbar. So if it's got a tick, then click it and untick it so that it's unselected, meaning you can move your toolbars around. Hope you've enjoyed this one. See you in the next one.